You want freedom, then be ready to bleed for it. That's not a line from a movie. That's the first lesson in the unforgiving world of full-time trading. Forget everything you've seen in those slick social media posts, the luxury cars, the penthouse views. Let's talk about the reality nobody wants to show you. Becoming a full-time trader isn't a dream come true. It's a declaration of war against your own weaknesses, your own habits, and the comfortable life you're leaving behind. You think this is just about switching jobs? Think again. This is about trading the certainty of a steady paycheck for the brutal chaos of the open market. The moment that salary stops hitting your bank account, everything changes. Every single tick on the chart becomes your heartbeat. Every candle that forms isn't just a pattern. It's a potential enemy, ready to wipe out your capital and your confidence in a single move. Wall Street, the market, whatever you want to call it, it doesn't care about your dreams, your ambitions, or how badly you want this. It's a cold, indifferent machine that only respects one thing: raw, unflinching discipline backed by solid data. New traders, the rookies, they all come here chasing the same thing: excitement, the thrill of the win, the rush of a big score. They're adrenaline junkies looking for a fix. But the survivors, the ones who are still standing a year later, 5 years later, they're not here for the thrill. They're here because they've mastered the brutal art of killing their emotions before their emotions kill their account. They've learned to silence the hope, the fear, the greed, and the despair that screams inside their heads with every trade. They operate like surgeons, with precision, with a plan, and without emotional attachment. So, you're thinking about going full-time? Your first step isn't funding a brokerage account with your life savings. It's not about finding the perfect scanner or the magic indicator. The real first step is opening your eyes and understanding, truly understanding, what you're about to walk into. This isn't a career path. It's a battlefield, a psychological war zone where you are your own greatest enemy. Your discipline will be tested every single second. Your resolve will be pushed to its breaking point, and the price of entry is your comfort zone. Let's break down what this price of freedom actually costs. First, financial insecurity. When you're an employee, you can have a bad week, a bad month even, and the paycheck still arrives. As a trader, a bad week means you don't just miss a paycheck, you lose money. Your capital, your lifeline, shrinks. The pressure that creates is immense. It's a weight on your chest that never goes away, especially in the beginning. You'll find yourself staring at your P&L, your profit and loss, and it will feel like a direct measure of your self-worth. Green day, you're a genius. Red day, you're a failure. Learning to detach from that emotional roller coaster is your first major battle. Second, isolation. Trading is a solitary profession. It's you, your screens, and the market. Your friends and family with their 9-to-5 jobs won't understand. They won't get why you were so stressed after a day of just clicking buttons. They won't understand the mental exhaustion of staring at charts for 8 hours, making high-stakes decisions every few minutes. You'll lose that sense of camaraderie you had in an office. There's no one to pat you on the back after a good day, and more importantly, no one to talk you off the ledge after a bad one, unless you build a network of other serious traders. This isolation can be crushing if you're not prepared for it. And third, the psychological toll. Every professional trader will tell you that trading is 90% psychology. You can have the best strategy in the world, but if you can't control your mind, you will fail. You'll be tempted to revenge trade after a loss, to get your money back, which almost always leads to bigger losses. You'll get overconfident after a winning streak and start taking sloppy, undisciplined trades. You'll feel the fear of missing out, or FOMO, and jump into a trade without a proper setup, only to watch it turn against you. The market is a master at exploiting human psychological weaknesses. It preys on greed and fear. Your job is to become a robot, an execution machine that follows a time-tested plan without deviation. And that is incredibly, incredibly difficult. This isn't to scare you away, it's to prepare you, it's to arm you with the truth. Because only those who understand the true cost, who are willing to face the chaos, the isolation, and the mental warfare head-on, have a chance to survive. Forget the dream of freedom for a moment. Instead, focus on building the resilience of a warrior. Your journey to becoming a full-time trader begins not with a chart, but with a mirror. You have to look yourself in the eye and ask, am I ready to pay the price? Am I ready to bleed for it? Because the market will demand nothing less. The freedom you seek is on the other side of a war you have to win with yourself. This is just the origin, the decision. Ever heard the saying, professionals don't hope, they prepare? It's a line that separates the dreamers from the doers, especially in the world of trading. So many people jump into the markets with stars in their eyes, thinking it's a fast track to wealth. They see the flashy charts, the big numbers, and they think, I can do that. But what they often miss is the brutal reality. Trading isn't a casino. It's not a lottery ticket. If you truly want to make a living from it, you have to stop treating it like a gamble and start treating it like what it is, a serious business. Think about it. Would you open a coffee shop without a business plan? Without separating your shop's inventory budget from your personal grocery money? Of course not. You'd be setting yourself up for failure. Yet countless traders do exactly this. They throw all their money into one pot, trade with their rent money, and cross their fingers hoping for the best. Hope is not a strategy. It's a recipe for financial disaster. The first step in transforming from an amateur gambler to a professional trader is building your financial architecture. This is non-negotiable. You need to create clear, separate accounts for three distinct purposes. First, your trading capital. This is the money dedicated solely to your trading activities. It's your business inventory. You must protect it fiercely. It is not your savings account, and it is certainly not your emergency fund. Second, you need a separate account for your living expenses. This is the money that pays your bills, buys your food, and keeps the lights on. This fund should have enough to cover your expenses for at least 6 months, ideally a year, without you needing to touch a single dollar from your trading account. Why? Because this separation removes the pressure. When you're not worried about paying your mortgage with this week's trades, you can make clear, rational decisions instead of desperate, emotional ones. Desperation is the enemy of a successful trader. And third, you need an emergency fund. Life happens. Your car breaks down, you have an unexpected medical bill, or the roof starts leaking. This fund is your personal safety net, completely isolated from your trading business and your regular living expenses. It's the firewall that prevents a personal crisis from turning into a trading catastrophe. Having this structure in place is the foundation of your entire trading career. It's what allows you to operate from a position of strength, not fear. Now let's talk about something that makes most traders uncomfortable: losing. It's inevitable. Even the best traders in the world have losing streaks. The difference is, professionals plan for them. This is where a drawdown plan comes in. A drawdown is the reduction in your trading capital from a peak. An amateur trader experiences a drawdown and starts to panic. They might revenge trade to win it back quickly, or they might become paralyzed by fear and miss good opportunities. A professional, on the other hand, has a predefined plan. They've already decided exactly what they will do when, not if, they hit a certain drawdown level. For example, a 10% drawdown might trigger a mandatory reduction in position size by half. A 15% drawdown might mean you stop trading live money and go back to the simulator for a week to diagnose the problem. A 20% drawdown could mean you take a complete break from the markets for 2 weeks to reset your mindset. The key is to make these rules before you're in the heat of the moment. When you're emotional and staring at a sea of red on your screen, you are in the worst possible state to make critical decisions. Your drawdown plan is your pre-written script for navigating a crisis. It's the fire escape plan for your trading business. You don't hope you'll never have a fire. You practice the drill so you know exactly what to do when the alarm bells ring. This plan is what turns a potentially career-ending event into a manageable business problem. Next, let's talk about your most powerful tool for improvement, your trading journal. And I'm not talking about a simple spreadsheet with just entry and exit prices. A professional's trading journal reads like a detailed accounting book combined with a personal diary. Every single trade needs to be documented. What was the setup? Why did you take the trade? What was your planned stop loss and take profit? What was the outcome? This is the basic data, but the real gold is in the qualitative data. How were you feeling when you entered the trade? Were you confident, anxious, bored, or overexcited? Did you follow your plan to the letter? If not, why? Did you move your stop loss because you were afraid of taking a small loss? Did you exit a winning trade too early because you were greedy and didn't want to give back any profits? Be brutally honest with yourself. This journal is for your eyes only. Over time, this journal will reveal patterns in your behavior that you would never see otherwise. You might discover that you lose money every time you trade after an argument with your spouse. Or maybe you'll find that your best trades happen in the first hour of the market open, and you tend to give back profits by forcing trades in the afternoon. Your trading journal isn't just a record of your trades, it's a mirror reflecting your psychological strengths and weaknesses. It's the single most important tool for self-coaching and continuous improvement. It transforms your trading from a series of random events into a process you can analyze, refine, and optimize. Finally, and this is the holy grail of trading, you need an edge. An edge is a verifiable advantage you have over the market. It is a specific setup or condition that has a higher probability of moving in one direction than the other. Your edge is not something you read in a book or learn in a weekend seminar. The market doesn't just give these away. An edge is earned. It's earned through thousands of hours of screen time, through meticulously analyzing your journal, and through the scars you collect from your losses. Your edge is uniquely yours. It's a deep understanding of a particular market behavior that you can recognize and exploit time and time again. Maybe it's a specific pattern on a 5-minute chart, or a certain reaction to a news event. Whatever it is, you must be able to define it, test it, and prove that it works over a large sample size of trades. Without a quantifiable edge, you're just gambling. You're flipping a coin and hoping it lands on heads. Finding and honing your edge is the core work of a trader. This is where you put in the real effort. It's the lonely work of reviewing charts, backtesting strategies, and poring over your journal, looking for that small, repeatable advantage. This is what separates the professionals who have longevity in this business from the amateurs who wash out after a few months. When you decide to pursue full-time trading, you are essentially launching a one-person company. You are the CEO, responsible for the overall strategy and vision. You are the risk manager, responsible for protecting the company's capital. You are the analyst, responsible for finding opportunities. You are the employee who executes the plan. And you are the head of HR, responsible for managing your own psychology and well-being. And when things go south, there's no one else to blame. The buck stops with you. This level of responsibility is immense, and it's not for everyone. It requires discipline, resilience, and an unwavering commitment to the process. The amateurs focus on the money. They chase trades, get emotional, and hope for big wins. The professionals focus on running their business. They build a solid infrastructure. They manage risk meticulously. They analyze their performance, and they relentlessly refine their edge. So ask yourself, are you just trading or are you running a business? The answer to that question will determine your entire future in the markets. Build your infrastructure, create your plans, document everything, and earn your edge. Stop hoping and start preparing. That is the path to turning the chaos of the market into a structured, sustainable, and professional career. We're going beyond the glamour, beyond the screenshots of massive profits, and into the real, raw heart of what it means to be a professional trader. I once saw a quote that perfectly captures it. Everybody wants to be a trader. Few can stand the silence between the trades. And that right there is the uncomfortable truth we're going to unpack today. When you first start trading, the allure is the action, right? The thrill of the buy, the rush of the sell, the constant checking of charts. It's a dopamine-fueled roller coaster. You feel like if you're not clicking buttons, you're not making money. You're constantly hunting for the next big move, jumping from one idea to the next, terrified of missing out. This is the amateur mindset. It's noisy, it's chaotic, and frankly, it's exhausting. And most of the time, it's a one-way ticket to blowing up your account. But then, something shifts. If you manage to survive that initial chaotic phase, you start to realize a profound secret that separates the pros from the crowd. You realize that most of trading is waiting. It's the polar opposite of what you thought it would be. It's not about constant action. It's about disciplined inaction. It's about spending hours, sometimes days, just watching the market, analyzing, and waiting for your specific, high-probability setup to appear. The setup you've defined in your trading plan. The A+, textbook pattern that you know, inside and out. This is where the real work begins. This is the art of patience. The market doesn't care about your need for excitement. It doesn't care that you're bored or antsy. The market operates on its own timeline, and it rewards those who can align with its rhythm. It punishes those who try to force their will upon it. Impatience is the most expensive emotion a trader can have. It makes you take subpar trades. It makes you jump in too early, get out too late, and second-guess your solid analysis because the market isn't moving fast enough for you. Think about a professional sniper. Does a sniper run around the battlefield, firing at everything that moves? Of course not. They find a strategic position. They meticulously calculate the wind, the distance, the target's movement, and then they wait. They wait for hours, maybe even days, for that one perfect moment to take the shot. They understand that their success isn't defined by the number of bullets they fire, but by the precision of the one shot that counts. Trading is exactly the same. Your job is not to be a machine gunner spraying bullets everywhere and hoping something hits. Your job is to be a sniper, patiently waiting for that high-probability target to walk right into your crosshairs. This transition from amateur to veteran is a mental one. The amateur craves action. The veteran worships silence. That silence between trades isn't empty time, it's productive time. It's when you're observing, learning, and preserving your capital and your mental energy. The longer you survive in this game, the more you understand and truly internalize the idea that not trading is a valid and often the most profitable position you can take. Protecting your capital when conditions aren't right is just as important as deploying it when they are. Cash is a position, a powerful one. It gives you the flexibility and the firepower to act decisively when the right opportunity finally presents itself. So, what does this waiting actually look like? It's not just sitting there, staring blankly at the screen. It's active, mindful patience. It's doing your morning prep, identifying key levels, and setting alerts. Once your alerts are set, you can step away. Go read a book, go for a walk, work on a hobby, live your life. You've done the work. Now you let the market come to you. When an alert goes off, you come back to your desk, you assess the situation with a clear head, and you ask yourself, does this meet all of my criteria? Is this an A+ setup? If the answer is anything less than a resounding yes, you close the chart and go back to waiting. No hesitation, no what-ifs, no FOMO. This is the part that's so hard to grasp for so many. It's managing the boredom. Our society wires us for constant stimulation. Our phones are buzzing, social media is endless, and we're conditioned to want instant gratification. Trading forces you to unlearn all of that. It forces you to become comfortable with doing nothing. It requires you to master your own mind, to tame that inner voice that screams, "Do something, you're missing out." That voice is your enemy. The true battle in trading isn't against the market, it's against yourself. It's a battle against your own impatience, fear, and greed. When you go full-time, this becomes your entire existence. There are no colleagues to chat with, no boss telling you what to do. It's just you, the charts, and the silence. And in that silence, every one of your psychological weaknesses will come to the surface. Your fear of losing money, your greed for more profit, your ego that can't accept being wrong. The market will test you in ways you can't even imagine. And the only way to win is to develop an ironclad discipline and an unshakable mastery over your emotions. This is why trading, for those who make it, stops being just a job. It's not about clocking in and clocking out. It's about building a framework for your entire life that supports your trading. It's about getting enough sleep, eating well, exercising, and managing your stress. Because if you show up to your desk sleep-deprived and emotionally compromised, you've already lost. Your mind is your greatest asset, and you have to protect it relentlessly. Ultimately, being a full-time trader isn't about flashing profit and loss screenshots or chasing that dopamine hit from a winning trade. That's the shallow, surface-level stuff. The real essence of it is about living at your own rhythm. It's about mastering boredom, managing fear, and developing the ability to execute like a machine, flawlessly and without emotion, when it's finally time to strike. You are the CEO, the analyst, the risk manager, and the trade executor, all in one. When you reach that point, when you can sit in silence for days and feel completely at peace, knowing you're preserving capital and waiting for your edge, that's when trading transforms. It stops being a job you do and becomes a part of who you are. It becomes a way of existence, a discipline that sharpens your mind and teaches you more about yourself than you ever thought possible. It's a path of self-mastery, with the market as your ultimate teacher. The glamour is a myth. The reality is a quiet, disciplined pursuit of excellence. And for those who can stand the silence, the rewards are far greater than just money. It's the freedom, the self-reliance, and the profound satisfaction of mastering one of the most challenging endeavors on the planet. Thanks so much for watching. If this message resonated with you, I'd really appreciate it if you hit that like button and subscribe to the channel for more honest conversations about the realities of trading. Drop a comment below and let me know how you handle the silence between the trades. I'd love to hear your strategies. Until next time, trade safe and stay patient.